Do you know anybody that's incarcerated or somebody that goes to jail all the time? Well, this video is for you. We're going to talk about how to help somebody that's been incarcerated for a long period of time or a short period of time. It's going to basically talk about how you can support that individual. I call this video today the adjustment period, and it's basically talking about how you support somebody that have been incarcerated either for a short-term period of time or a long-term period of time. I've worked in the Department of Corrections for approximately 20 years off and on, and I've had a lot of experience working with clients within the criminal justice system to try to get them reacclimated into society with aftercare and reentry. Is basically trying to help them set up, and when they go home, they have a better chance of being successful and not coming back to prison. This video is not going to be talking about or bashing the Department of Corrections or the system or what goes on within the system. This video is specifically designed to help individuals that are coming out of prison that need some kind of assistance on understanding what their families go through when they come out of prison. One of the main topics that I tell clients when I'm preparing them for being released from prison is called the honeymoon period. It's a 30-day period when guys get out of prison or jail and they expect everything is going to be all good with their families and significant others. I always tell them your family members are happy to see you, but after 30 days, that welcome slowly fades away. Your family wants to see a plan that you have designed so that they can know that whatever situation that you struggled with that caused you to fall into the criminal justice system will no longer be that situation, because you have a plan to help yourself set up to help you be more successful as you move forward into the future. One of the other major things that I usually tell clients when they're getting ready to go home, I usually tell them, you're either planning to succeed or you're planning to fail. There's no in between. Either you have a plan in place or you don't have a plan in place. And I used to also break it down into assets and liabilities. And even though assets and liabilities are more like a financial term, but I always use it so that I can explain to them in plain language what I mean by assets and liability. I mean that assets mean that they bring something to the table. Liability mean they're taking something away from the table. So I'm trying to tell them that how they can be more of an asset when they get out so that they can get more support from their family and significant others. One of the things that I typically tell them to prepare for is that when I'm telling them to plan to succeed, I want them to look at their first year of release in this way. The first 30 days, you have a plan of what you need to do. The first 90 days, you have a plan. First 6 months, you have a plan. And the first year, you have a plan. And then I also tell them to come up with a backup plan. And what I mean by the backup plan is the first plan is just something to get you on your feet, get you running. The backup plan is more of a long-term plan that will keep you from ever going back into a criminal justice system. For example, I would tell them when you come out of prison, find the quickest job that you can that will bring some money to the table, either so that you can eat or that you could help out with some bills in the house. Even though it's not going to be a lot of money, but it at least helps immediately the family member and significant other that's taking care of you when you come out of prison. And then so if you have a construction, McDonald's, whatever it is, any kind of food service or construction type job, take it immediately if it has an income attached to it. And then while you're working that job that you really don't like, usually it's a job that I tell them to just take it. Even if you don't like it, just take it. And then your secondary plan is the one that will going to sustain you. For example, if the person that I'm talking to has a background as a barber or a background as a truck driver, I usually tell them work on your certification when you come out, or work on your certification while you're still in prison if you can. But if you don't have that paper in hand when you come out, work on that while you're doing your first plan, which is just anything that will bring income. And then your second plan will give you that long-term sustainability where you'll find a job that will pay you well enough so that you don't have to worry about resorting back to the same old behaviors you had before you got incarcerated. Once your family members see that you working on a plan and a backup plan and you share that plan with your family, you will see that everything will change with the way that they look at you, because they know whatever you're struggling with, it's temporary, and they can help you get to that long-term goal that you're working on. But you have to share your short-term plan, which is your primary plan, and your secondary plan, which is your long-term plan, to help you be completely successful so that you can stay out of prison or out of jail. Research has shown that most inmates, when they're released, will end up going back to prison within 3 years. So the ultimate goal here is to make sure you break that statistic and don't go back to prison or jail. According to legalclarity.org, it costs approximately $30,982 to house an inmate per year in the Department of Correction. And that breaks down to about $85 a day. And this is based off of the fiscal year of 2025 and 2026 budget. And they allocated in the state of Florida $3.8 billion for the Florida Department of Corrections to house approximately 90,000 incarcerated people, and also supervising hundreds of thousands more on probation and community release. If you're thinking the way I'm thinking, I'm wondering who's paying for this? Guess who pays for this? You, the taxpayer. The person that gets up every day, go to work, pay your bills, and when you get your check, some money's already pulled out of your check. That's where some of that money is going towards. It's going towards keeping our society safe by housing people that are incarcerated. So it's very important that we help our family and significant others that have been incarcerated to become an asset and not a liability. You want that person to be able to be a taxpayer, pay into society, and not be an inmate where they become a liability, where society is paying to house them to get 3 hots in a cot. I hope this video was helpful for you. I just wanted you all to have an idea of how to support a loved one as they're going through the adjustment period from going from an incarcerated person to someone that is free and moving around in society. I'll see you on my next episode.